Alright, today we got a quick video regarding the parking brake. Works great on flat surfaces, as you can see here, but on slight hills or slight inclines it will not hold the car at all. So I'm going to show you, got a hill back there in the background, and show you exactly what happens. I always park the car in gear, so that should that keeps me from rolling. Say I need to leave it running, keep the air conditioning going, and I throw the family in the car and I put the parking brake on, it will not hold the car on any incline. So we need to fix that and make sure we're safe. Alright, so we're going up the hill. Clutch is in. We're taking it out of gear. Got the regular brake on. I'm going to push down the parking brake. And I'm going to release the brake. And we just roll slowly backwards. And this is the parking brake all the way down to its lowest setting. And release the brake, we roll backwards. Release the brake and head home and hopefully fix this issue. I want this jack to be as far over as I could possibly get it. There we go. Because it's in a weird spot. You have the jack set up here, so I just moved it over a little bit. This is the ZL1 add-ons jack pads. I'll put those in the description. And we want to get the, which I don't know if I can do that. I think I need to go over a little bit more. There we go. Bring this over a little more. There we go. Should be able to get that up there now. Let's see what happens. Now, since we're dealing with the brakes, don't attempt this if you are not familiar with brake systems, working on cars, and concerned about the overall safety of you and your family. Just a general disclaimer, if you don't know what you're doing, please take it to a professional. Alright, this video is super simple. For this one, you're going to need a flashlight, a long set of needle nose pliers just to be able to get in and pull that bushing out. And then you're going to need just a standard flathead screwdriver, something with a, at least a 6-inch shaft. This is what you use to adjust that the teeth inside the underneath that boot. And a pair of gloves if you want to spin your tires without getting tire shine all over your hands. What I'll wind up doing is I'll drop a link in the description to all the tools I used, including the cool jack stands that I have that give me way too much room under the car. Look how high those tires are off the ground. My ZL1 add-ons, mag pads that protect my pinch welds, and that cool Daytona orange jack there is a Harbor Freight 3-ton jack, which I think is pretty freaking awesome compared to that little 500 pumper that only got my car 6 inches off the ground. Hello. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to carefully open the door because now we're pitched, so the door's going to fly open. We're going to release the brake. Can't believe I did that. This is the first time since I've owned this car that I've done that. I'm going to release the brake because the wheels are off the ground. We're going to take the car out of gear. Car is now currently out of gear and the wheels spin freely. There's a boot in the back, which we're going to go check out now. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that right there. Man, the lighting down here sucks. Okay, boot's off. Sorry, but I got to switch to voiceover here. When I did the adjustment, I did it correctly, as in my brake works great now, but I didn't do it according to the service manual. So I'm going to explain the process, and then you can choose which way you want to do it. Behind that boot is an adjuster with detents, or teeth, and you could spin it using the tip of a flathead screwdriver. To tighten the brake, you spin the driver's side adjuster from the front of the car to the back of the car, and then the passenger side is the opposite. You go from the back of the car to the front of the car. The service manual method states to spin the adjuster until the tire stops spinning freely. And then what you do is you back it off 6 teeth. So in other words, go in the opposite direction, 6 teeth, and then spin the wheel to see if you feel light drag. If the drag is too heavy, continue backing it off 1 tooth at a time until light drag is achieved, but don't back it off more than 17 teeth. So for me, I interpret light drag as what you see here. You get the wheel going, and then it continues a tiny bit on its own. Here's a good visual comparison for those of you who want to give it a test while it's still up on the jacks. So I'm going to apply the brake and then try to spin the wheel with a good amount of force. So this first side has been adjusted. Alright, now we're going to head over to the other side, and as you can see here, if I apply force, I could spin it by hand. So there's no way this side's going to hold the car. Before putting this video online, I kind of wanted to confirm that my method was accurate. So I got my hands on the brake adjustment section of the service manual and kind of decided that the service manual obviously is correct. So that's where we are now. For my method, it's kind of the same thing, but basically I simply spun the adjuster until I felt the wheel dragging, and then I just backed it off 2 D10s at a time until we got that light drag that we just spoke about. Alright, so now just a few hours later, just because I had to eat dinner, we're back on the same hill. I have the car in neutral. Unfortunately, I can't show you. Actually, let me just open the door. So the car's in neutral. I'm gonna push down the brake, and I'm gonna step off the parking or the regular brake, and we're stuck. Not bad. Now, just for fun, I'm gonna pull the brake, and we're rolling backwards. So the brake works. I'll also notice that the pedal throw isn't as deep as it used to be. So in other words, I used to be able to go down pretty far, and now the pedal throw isn't as far. So one more test. Go out to the side. We're gonna roll a teeny bit just to the braking gauge, and there we go. Bouncing the car, not moving at all. We are golden. That's it. The adjustment was a total success. It took about an hour from the time I jacked up the car till the time I was done and tested. I hope this video was informative. I have the full version of the 2015 Challenger service manual in the mail, so I'll be stepping up my knowledge on the car and hopefully providing you even more informative content in the future. Speaking of homework, don't forget to do yours. Like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell. And don't forget to follow me on the Insta so you can see what I'm up to in real time. And as always, thanks for watching.